Greetings ladies and gents, and welcome to today's Reddit Quickie video, taken from the HFY subreddit called The17th Fleet, written by Squeaky Peaky. The link to the original will be down below, and as always I hope that you enjoy. There are a variety of reasons that people choose to live their lives on the eastern fringes of space. Plentiful food, disconnection from the mind meld, and freedom from the authoritarian regimes that spring up in more civilized parts of the galaxy that definitely are on my list. My name is Harper, and depending on who you talk to, I'm either a pirate, a thief, or a pretty good guy. The last one was only my mum. I like to think of myself as a treasure hunter, for hire. The sort of man who picks out the tastiest, most expensive morsels from wherever I find them and give them a new home. I've been out here hunting for treasures since before the Confederacy took hold, and I've never seen anything as crazy as I saw today. I was spaced out, hanging on the edge of a jump path junction, looking for drama when I saw 3 old boats zip past. To say that they were out of date would be an understatement. They were so ancient the boosters were freaking glowing, like an old vids about space travel from the early 22nd century. Modern grav sliders don't even produce notable movement from the outside, let alone enough heat to produce a notable light. They were huge too, over 200 meters apiece, hopelessly oversized compared to modern ships. When I brought up the scans on them, I couldn't stop myself from letting out a whistle. They had no shields, no wormhole gen, no goddamn anything. But goddamn, they had a hammer down. Most modern-day ships don't really worry about real space speed so much. You don't need it with a wormhole accuracy damn near 50 meters. These motherfrickers hadn't heard about that though. They were driving ships at least 3,000 years old at close to the speed of light as explosions could get them, and they were being chased. The problem with space pirates isn't so much as they exist, they are an inevitability. Really, when you have a universe this large and a population as naturally anarchic as us humans, it's that they're arseholes about it. See, most people wouldn't mind having their ships raided and a goods stolen. That's fine, you can get insurance for dirt cheap, and you will get a pretty great story out of it. The issue is how they do it. With a near instantaneous wormhole travel and almost perfect accuracy, most raiders don't even bother stopping people anymore. They simply take the old one-seater ship, get one of their newbies in the driver's seat, and make them drop out of a wormhole right in front of whichever poor unfortunate bastard exits at a junction. Both ships crash, the pirate gets picked up in a survivor's suit, and they raid all the good bits from the other ship. Anyone who survives from the other boat usually gets left to float. Or, if they're particularly unlucky and come across some real nasty motherfrickers, they are the good bits. I couldn't tell you exactly how the pirates had managed to cock up such a particular traffic stop. It wasn't like the ships could outrun a wormhole jumper. They were fast, but definitely stuck in real space. I could see it clipping in and out, appearing close to the noses that never actually in front of them, as it was actually hilarious to watch. This drugged-up imbecile must be wondering what the hell was going wrong with his system, if it can't even manage to land in front of these things with all the time in the world to plot a jump path. Then I realized why he couldn't make them hit. The ships weren't flying in a predicted flight path, or even computer-generated random pattern. The wormhole gen was trying to make them collide by reading the best possible outcomes of the other ship's computer. But these things are old, like first-generation Central Galaxy pre-Civil War old, which meant that there were every chance that whoever was flying these things was doing it manually, which meant that they were quite possibly insane. Flying a spaceship manually was a bloody stupid thing to do. See, things in space happen really, really quickly. When it hits another rock on a planet with one gravity, there's a hard limit to how far that rock can go before stopping. But there's too many forces at play, and the potential gravity is that it very quickly drains away to zero. But in space, the initial speed doesn't really have a whole lot to stop it, so it'll keep moving like the initial insane speed forever. Plus, they're all super hard to see. So when you're driving a spaceship manually in a place with any kind of debris, you're basically dodging invisible bullets, going at possible speeds with nothing but luck on your side. Computers are great for that. They predict potential issues from the scans and just automatically adjust. Half the time, unless it's a goddamn planet, you never even know what's happening. Planets, man, they'll sneak up on you. Anyways, I hadn't moved. I was totally entrapped, watching the game of pirate and dumbass play out. I knew there had to be more pirates out there somewhere to swoop in once the kid had cleaned out the kamikaze crapshoot. And I didn't want to fire my engines up and get jumped as well. But I couldn't help but root for these three antiques. Who doesn't love an underdog? The less likely they were to survive, the harder I had to cheer. It would only take a small slip of them to lose it all, though. Intervening was starting to seem like an actual legitimate option. The computers were starting to predict an erratic movements of one of the drivers. Each jump was closer and closer miss, and I didn't really know how I could help, though. The ships were insanely expensive, and all my years of treasure hunting I'd never gotten anything other than a poorly converted mining laser, which was only really good for breaking open old hulks to see if there was anything salvageable inside. Of course, in order to actually hit anything with it, I would need to engage a suicidal pirate doing near constant jumps and then get out again before his buddies grabbed me. I was gearing up to pick a fight that I'd lose when I saw the tables turn. The old junkers, who were getting cut off suddenly, stopped dodging and started deaccelerating hard. I don't want to think about what G-forces they were like. I can only imagine the stress on the human body. The huge goddamn engines I talked about had cut out, and a second pair have opened up in front of the ship. The power coming from the ridiculous. My readings weren't off the scales, but they were certainly on a part of it that they'd never seen before. Except following tac nukes and fission generator failures. I couldn't fathom what the hell was even producing that much energy. The pirate, however, saw his chance and made his daddy proud and jumped into the path of the now deaccelerating boat. I almost felt like I should have warned him, but then I really do hate pirates. See, one of the advantages I have is an actual education. I knew what was going to happen next, even if he didn't. The pirate didn't have shields. They wouldn't put them on ships, and they were going to blow up anyways. Because what's the point? So, the moment this 20-meter-long yacht appeared in the path of a 200-meter-long monstrosity's engines, it felt the blowback from those engines. That much power pushing something in one direction is probably going to do the same to the other after all. It was really satisfying to behold, if I'm honest. The ship appearing out of thin air and was nearly instantly blasted away into a wild spin. I did a quick scan as it span out at impossible speed. Whatever the frick was coming out of the engine was highly radioactive, and that tiny little hunk of steel was ticking like a Geiger counter made of uranium. I still read life signs on board, but hey, without shields, that much radiation meant his destiny had changed from a moron to juice. I shuddered to think of it. I almost felt bad for him. The other two relics had started to slow down too, and I realized with a jolt that they were coming to a stop. I didn't really want to get involved, but I felt like it was just the price that I had to pay for admission to see the most brutal pirate death of all time. I tried to ping them with my comms. Surely they knew that there were more pirates around here somewhere. They might be a bit confused right now, but they'd want vengeance, maybe. Or they could be huge cowards who didn't want to die with similar deaths. With pirates, you never knew. Regardless, these guys had some kind of comm system, but getting through was unpleasant. I couldn't get a proper voice channel open, let alone video. In the end, I managed to open up a text channel through my mind meld connectors, though God only knows why that worked. Given how miserably forgotten their systems were, I was surprised again when they replied in a language that even the translator shook its fist at. It got about every third word through, so they were still easier to communicate than half the cut-offs in the weird little farms around here. We struggled a bit, but I sent them the coordinates of a nice planet and told them to set down there. Anyway, that's how I met the 17th Fleet Admiral. What else do you want to know? And that, my friends, is the end of this Reddit Quickie. I hope that you enjoyed. If you'd like to support this channel, there are numerous ways to do so, listed in the description down below. The easiest and best way would be to share this video and my channel as much as possible. I'll see you all in the next video, and I hope that you have a good one until then. Cheers.